Filing season is the busiest time here at the State Board, but most of what we do is behind the scenes. The public only get a glimpse of our busy filing schedule when they see the long lines on the first day of filing. What our staff does for the filing season starts well before candidates begin to line up with their petitions and lasts long after they have filed their petitions. The preparation for filing begins months before, as IT staff, in cooperation with election operations, prepares the filing application for data entry. With well over 500 to 1,000 candidates coming through our doors during the filing periods, it is essential that candidate filing software runs smoothly. In the weeks leading up to the filing periods, filing stations with computers and printers must be set up for the filing in the boardroom, as well as in the back area for scanning of petitions once they are filed. Scanners also need to be tested to ensure that they are working properly so we can have a smooth scanning line on the first and last night of filing periods. Staff count and catalog hundreds of petitions and scan tens of thousands of pages during the span of an hour in order to provide a quick turnaround for public records requests. Election operations must prepare filing assignments and make sure each duty is covered with the appropriate number of staff, and signage must be prepared and hung in proper locations to meet statutory requirements. SBE staff must collaborate with various agencies. Representatives from the Secretary of State Index Division are on site during peak filing times in order to accept candidate statements of economic interest and issue receipts. Officers from the state police are also on site during peak times to help ensure a safe and secure filing period. Finally, a day or two before the first day of filing, a staff meeting is held with all staff participating in the filing to ensure everyone understands their duty and assignments. A test is also conducted to ensure that all of the network and computer equipment is running as expected. On the first day of filing, many staff members begin arriving as early as 5 a.m. Although the public may be familiar with the long lines of hopeful candidates and the frenzied scenes of the filing in the boardroom, a lot is going on behind the scenes at the same time. Petition runners are carrying petitions back and forth to the petition storage room as they are being filed so that they can be kept in a safe and secure place now that they have entered our chain of custody. They are filed by office and district if applicable. Then, once the lines have dissipated, the staff go from their front-facing roles to their equally important behind-the-scene roles. After an initial audit of the petitions that we are in receipt of, the petitions are taken out of the storage room and logged. Then, the cataloging and documentation process begin. Before any additional handling, the petitions are photographed to document the physical condition that the petition was filed in and the manner in which it was bound. After photography is complete, SBE staff will document any discrepancies in the petition and then disassemble it for scanning. Each petition is scanned in file batches of 100. Once the petition is scanned, it needs to be counted back in exactly as it was documented, discrepancies and all. For example, if it was found to be filed with page 4 before page 3, that is the way we will reassemble it. Then it is reassembled and refiled in the petition storage room, where it will remain under lock and key. At the same time, several staff members from election operations process and fulfill petition requests from the public. These are from people requesting the scanned copies of petitions, and the orders are complete throughout the evening as the scanning is completed for a requested petition. Staff often stay late into the night to finish scanning petitions and fulfilling these requests, not leaving until 11 or even midnight, even after getting into the office at 5 a.m. In the next couple of days, staff will continue to fill petition requests, while also overseeing in-person viewing requests, where a person comes in to view a petition in person, which requires a strict chain of custody to ensure no tampering. At the same time, VRS will be hosting around a dozen viewing terminals in the boardroom for those who would like to access voter records to investigate the validity of petitions that were filed. Behind the scenes, more work is being done as election operations will proof the information for each candidate that filed their first petition page down to every period and comma to ensure that everything was entered correctly.
CYRIL, Nichols, NIC.
These processes are repeated for the last hour filing. The next step in the process is objections. Objections must be filed within 5 business days of the end of the filing period, but are almost always filed on that 5th day. Many objections are filed in Chicago and must be driven back to Springfield overnight for processing. The morning after objection filing, there will be scanning and reassembly. Once they are scanned, election operations staff can begin preparing all the documents required by statute to be delivered to each candidate and objector. Then, staff will assemble the documents and package them. Objections to be heard in Cook County and Chicago must be hand-delivered, and original petitions will be driven back up to Chicago by election operations staff. Objections heard by the SBE must be mailed via register mail and require a very specific packaging method. Staff spends several hours preparing the mailing, often staying late into the night. Objections must be mailed out by noon of the second business day, so the day following the deadline for objection filing is devoted to pricing and mailing all objection documents. The next several days are spent tracking mailings as well as receiving rejected mailings that have been sent back. The next and final step in the filing process that is also part of the objections process is record exams. A majority of staff participate in record exams, which is the examination of petitions that have been objected to. Staff must determine the validity of signatures, whether a voter is registered at a certain address, if they live in the district the candidate is running for, etc. This is often a 2+ week process. Although the filing period is a busy and somewhat daunting time period for the staff at the State Board of Elections, it also brings out the best in us, and we are proud of the work we do.